Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the I'm the Great podcast. I am your host, Mso the Great. Yes, I am great because I bring great to the plate. Every time you see a brother, we are here at Relax Studios, wonderful and beautiful Relax Studios. We get a lot of things done. Keep it in action, content creation studio, health and wellness spot, the beautiful flavors and everything that you need here. This is 420 Haven, man. Come and spend your time, man. Kick it. Relax Studios, So, man, I want to hop on here today, man. You know, when we on this podcast together, we build on this. We're building on this thing. And this being an I'm So Great podcast, I find I take it as a responsibility to help build. And one thing that I want to be able to help with is when it comes to young men going through fatherhood. I'm a father myself. My oldest just graduated from high school. My youngest is 5 years old. My youngest is in kindergarten, well, going to kindergarten. Not only, I also have a 17-year-old, which is my daughter, my middle child. Not only have I raised three children myself, but I also had a hand in raising several other children and individuals as well, my nieces and nephews, also my god kids. So as a father, I feel like I'm very See, I got a lot of a lot of experience, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of experience as a father, and I'm an individual who grew up in the street. I stepped away from the street so I could be a better father, and I learned different skills and different things so I could be a better protector and provider for my family and for my children, definitely. Also for my wife. And when I'm up here, I talk about my wife and my children a lot up here because family is extremely important to me. It's a big thing for me. No matter how much money we make, no matter how successful we become, how big we become, how famous we become, family is still an extremely important responsibility and obligation in my life. It's the most important obligation in my life. I wouldn't work so hard and do so many different things if it wasn't for me out here trying to make it better for my family, trying to build something better for my family. So you're gonna hear me talk about my family a lot, man, and I really want to help. I really want to help brothers and help brothers and help mothers be able to understand this fatherhood thing. Be able to understand this game that we in because everything that we get into is really a game. But you just got to take the game serious and understand the strategy and focus and how to deliver and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So with myself, I feel like that I have a lot of information when it comes to this subject, and I really want to help as many as possible you know, to help be the greatest father they could possibly be. I don't think we talk about that enough. I don't think and that's a conversation. We hear about deadbeat dads all the time, but we don't really hear about great fathers as much. And this is something that we not only we should hear more about, but we should strive to be. We should strive to be great for our families. Strive to be great for our children. We should strive to bring the absolute most value to them. And a lot of times, man, it's very easy for us to get caught up in our own lives. The things that we want and the things that we want to do and the things that we expect, but we do have to remember at all times that the first priority is your family. Family is absolutely most important thing that you can have in your life. No matter what else you have in your life, without family, that shit really don't mean much. I heard Nas was talking about, he was telling the story about this billionaire. And billionaire has everything but a fam. You know what I'm saying? Has everything but a family. And that's so you're a man with everything and you're a man with nothing at the same time. So for me, family is extremely important. Um, Being a great father, being a great husband, these are very, very important things in my life, very important. And they're goals, straight up and down, to continuously be great at those things. Uh, when I was in business school, I learned about this thing called Kaizen, which is a continuous improvement. I'm pretty sure you heard me talk about it before. It's a Japanese business model about that's all about continuous improvement. And that continuous improvement basically states that nothing is perfect. Everything can improve, everything can get better, and we have to strive for that improvement. And I believe in being a father is the exact same thing. And it's not as hard as people would think. for you to be an active, attentive father, a great father, and a father where your fathering is an asset to the lives and the livelihoods of the children and the next generation, the ones that you've brought into this world. It's very important to stand tall, in my personal opinion. And a lot of people have their own opinion when it comes to things like this, but in my personal opinion, it's extremely important for a father to stand tall and hold things down and be there in whatever capacity that he can be there for his children. Period. Whatever capacity he could be there for his children. I'm not even sitting going to tell you that the father always has to be the leader and the breadwinner and all that stuff. If you have a if you have a wife or a woman in your life or the mother of your children, and she's the grinder and she has a better plan, a more efficient plan, and things like that, it's still your responsibility to help her reach her goals so the children can be at the best place that they can possibly be in. And a great place is not only just saying being in a place where you have money and things of that nature, but a great place for a child to be is to see their mother being loved and taken care of, even if the father isn't with the mother. You don't have to be with the mother of your children for you to love her and for you to be able to have a helping hand in their life. It's very important that your children see a teamwork effort, even if you're not together. It's very important for your children to see that teamwork effort of both of you guys working together to make something dope. And it's not always that the man has the plan. It's not always that the man has the best skills and the most value when it comes to making when it comes to financially. But no matter who is the no matter who is the leader on that, when it comes to the financial gain, or no matter who needs to be the leader based off of based off of their goals and things of that nature, we should have a responsibility to support each other. Period. It doesn't matter if you had a one night stand and that one night stand developed into a child. It developed into a child, and that one night stand went from a one night stand to a family. And even if you don't have to be with the mother of that child for that child to understand that you 100% respect that mother and that you have that mother's back. And I think it'll be a little easier for mothers to be able to have the back of their baby fathers if they understood that the baby fathers had their back 100%. And for the ones who can be angry and vengeful for the fact that the relationship didn't turn out, and the fact that or whatever happened in the relationship and things of that nature, you can always mend those fences. It's not going to be easy. What I'm saying? I can't sit here and say that it's going to be easy, but what I can say a lot of times that it's not impossible. It's not impossible. I think that as men nowadays, that we forget the fact that we can be strong leaders. And within being a strong leader, sometimes you have to understand how to communicate with people that you've hurt, or how to communicate with people that are, hard to communicate with. And with that being said, not saying that you need to be a simp or nothing like that, but definitely you should carry a certain level of respect and carry a certain level of dignity when it comes to an integrity, when it comes to dealing with this woman in this relationship that you have with the mother of your children. Mainly for the fact that, not just because it's always the good to figure out the best way for you to have a great relationship with a person, but also for the fact that you want to be the best asset for your children, man. If you look outside, man, you look at this world, man, there's so many people that's just walking through a haze of hell, just memories of pain and neglect. And it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's not that hard, you know? I mean, I'm saying that it's not that hard. Let me change that. It could be one of the hardest things that you've ever done in your life, but it's the most rewarding thing that you will ever do. It's the most selfless thing that you will ever do. Being a great father, being a great father to your children, loving your children, protecting your children, being there for your children, guiding your children, teaching your children lessons, not allowing for your children to just be raised by the mother. Anybody who's passed away and anybody who's in a penitentiary, you know what I'm saying? For the people who passed away, rest in peace. There's nothing, and it's the saddest shit in the world. It's the saddest shit in the world, because I believe those people who have passed away would have definitely loved to be there in their children's lives. Even the ones that, might have died by their own hand. But what people don't really realize is a lot of times, man, if you just give yourself time, things can be crazy. You can feel a certain way, but give yourself some time, man. Give yourself time because you have no clue why God put that moment into your life and how people in the world will benefit, or how you will benefit from experiencing that moment and being resilient in that moment and bouncing back from that moment. I heard this thing on social media today was talking about social fragility. Oh, excuse me, when it came to emotional fragility. Saying basically that nowadays, emotional fragility, people are emotionally fragile, just fragile. It's like you don't realize you're supposed to be able to be strong enough to get over things. It's like you don't realize that you can be tough enough to be able to experience things and overcome it. It's like you don't realize that it's your responsibility to overcome things. It's your responsibility to overcome things. It's your responsibility. We can play it. This life right here, this life right here is going to constantly throw tests at you. It really doesn't matter who you are. It don't matter what background you come from. It don't matter how many of your parents had billions of dollars of your parents. You grew up on the side of the street and you were homeless. We all going to have issues and we all going to have negative things happen to us. Point blank, period. And while all these things are happening to us, we have a responsibility to overcome, to power through. Our God, our creator, didn't create us to quit. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that the universe or our creator or God, however you want to put it, created you to quit. I don't think so. The world is too abundant. Your abilities are too abundant. It didn't create you to quit. And the thing that kills me, the thing that fucks me up the most is seeing fathers that quit on their kids or quit on their families. That's it's hard for us to be great in that fashion. It's hard for you to stand here and tell me that you're great. It's hard for you to watch the I'm So Great podcast if you don't have an identity of an individual that wants to lead their family or wants to be a part of their family and be a mechanism in their family of leadership. You see, I feel like our ability to create children, houses, vehicles, passions, dreams, our ability to create hones into our connection with our creator, be it whatever. That's how we truly connect with the creator. And if you have the ability, or if you have the blessing enough to be able to create children, which is a creation of life, a creation of life. Most of the things that we create add to life or help support life, but they don't create life. It's a special thing. You are special because you were responsible. You were special because you were given that responsibility from our universe, from our God. And it's very easy for us to create. It's very easy. You lay down with a woman, you have a night, fulfillment, and easily just like that, life can be created. Put in the same breath. You could be an individual that has want to create life and lay down and still can't create life. That's how fragile it is. That's how fragile it is. That's how much of a blessing it is. Sometimes you could just hit the lottery and come out right out the back. Boom, hit the lottery and go with it. And then sometimes you got to really work and put a strategy together and really, really work and be diligent to make it happen. Either way, either way, that creation has brought you that much closer to your creator. Now you have the responsibility of nurturing that creation. You see, I think that's the reason why we have the ability to love. You see, the ability to love forces you to nurture something. The ability of love forces you to nurture. It forces you to hone in, focus, and really give yourself. And a lot of times you're giving yourself without reward. You're giving yourself. And it's all out of love. It's all in the name of love. You know, my wife and I, we were married for 4 years before we had our first child. And it wasn't like we were trying, but we couldn't have children and shit like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was fucking terrified. I was terrified. I was terrified to have children. I was terrified to be a father. And I was really hoping that we was gonna skip that whole thing. And it wasn't like that I don't like children. I love children. It wasn't even that. The thing is, I come from a broken home. My father was gone. My father wasn't in the majority of my life. His father, the same thing. His father wasn't in his life as well. And to be honest with you, I don't know anything about my grandfather, so I can't tell you anything about my great grandfather on that side. But then I look at my mom's side of the family, and I mean, I don't want to share, but let's just say that the fathers on that side of the family weren't good fathers as well. And I felt like I was coming from a bad stock, because everybody keep fumbling the bag when it comes to this thing. When it comes to this thing, they kept fumbling the bag as far as I knew. As far as I knew. You know, I only knew a couple other fathers that were in the kid's life. Saying, damn, my Uncle Larry was in my cousin Larry, my cousin Kevin life. You know what I mean? Damn, it was this gentleman named Mr. Bruce, and my first name is Bruce as well. So damn, that was, he was damn sure like a very prominent figure in my life, even though he wasn't my father or wasn't a part of my family. The thing about Mr. Bruce is he brung the neighborhood together. The neighborhood kids. He had this basketball hoop in front of his house. And he let the neighborhood kids, the basketball hoop in front of his house, in front of his windows and shit, his cars over here. And the neighborhood kids coming to his crib and they balling, man. And they spending time over there. And he dropping jewels. And he having conversation. And he out there playing ball with us and leading and shit. It's like that. Those moments will never die with me. Those moments will never die with me. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Mr. Bruce. He actually passed away. You know what I'm saying? I was maybe like about 13, maybe about 13, 14 years old, something like that. Maybe a little older. I'm not really sure, but damn, you know what I'm saying? He passed away. I think I was might have been a little older. I think I might have been maybe about 15, 16. But the brother passed away in his sleep. And you know what I'm saying? He was a very prominent figure when it came to being a father. So yeah, I didn't really understand what being a father was because I never really seen too many fathers, especially long term, to be able to make that type of determination on what a father was. But now that I've been a father for over 18 years, I've helped raise several other children, kids, you know what I'm saying? My niece, I helped raise so many other children. And they're in there, some of them in their 20s, some of them like young, you know what I'm saying? Still young. But I've come up with a determination for being a father. Um, what a father is, what a father should be at its finest is a loyal companion. A loyal companion that is there to protect you, guide you, direct you, and be a soft place for you to land. But at the same time, be the energy and the tough inspiration of your life to continue pushing. A great father can can guide you through your first breakup, hug you, let you know it's gonna be all right, tell you stories about when they had their first breakup, empower you and let you know how amazing you are and how, you know what I'm saying? For me, it was like Gucci said, girls are like buses. Miss one, miss 15, one coming. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I like to come at it. And but also your father must be able to push you further. I heard this earlier today. It was like there's a lack of fathers out there that'll see you score 100 points and still talk shit about the 2 points that you maybe like, but yeah, but those two shots, those two gotta do better. You could have made those two shots. We'd be sitting at 104, 105 instead of sitting at 100. You know what I'm saying? Them type of fathers that push you to be the greatest, the best that you can be. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mayweather has a shaky relationship with his father, but his father's the best trainer. His father can push him. His father's the best trainer. He was the champion and undefeated. Yeah, he had other trainers, but his father was the best trainer. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, fathers are extremely important. And I believe that we all can do that. We all can be loyal companions to our children. We all can be loyal companions to our children. We all can give great information and protect and lead and guide our children, especially in shit that we've already experienced. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, I guess that we downplay ourselves. We downplay our value when it comes to the world and what we can bring. A lot of us have questions. It's like, man, what can I offer a kid? How can I be a good father? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. My dad wasn't around, so how can I be a good dad? And it's like by loving your kid. I didn't know how to truly change diapers. I didn't know the temperature the milk need to be. I didn't know how many times the baby need to be burped. I didn't know how the baby need to eat. I ain't know these things, but what I did know is I love the fuck out this child. And I will do anything in this world to protect this child. I will do anything in the world to protect this child. I will do anything in the world for this child to understand how important that they are and how valuable they are. I'll do anything in the world to prove that. Straight up. No questions asked. And I've done it. I will grind, put in the hours, put in the time, but stay up and still rock with you on your homework. Stay up and still, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we need to go drive. Hey, we need to go. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you need. I'm inspire you. I'm invest in you. A lot of that don't happen. A lot of parents don't invest in their children. It seem like they're so judgmental in the things that their children want to be because it's not what they want them to be or it's not something they believe is sustainable. But we have no clue what you can turn something into. You have no clue what the fuck you could turn something into. You could be a regular person, have a regular shit and make a killing. You know what I'm saying? Create things that people absolutely need, create services that people absolutely need. We can do these things. And I'm telling you, man, I mean, being a father and understanding that how hard you gotta go and understanding what we put in to this thing. Them late nights, them early mornings, empty pockets, giving up all you got constantly, giving up all you got. You know what I'm saying? Giving up all you got to make sure that this thing is sustainable, to make sure that these ones that you brought into this world are protected and loved, and they got a roof over their head, and they got food in their stomach, and they got clothes on their back. And we don't even stop there because we want them to have fly clothes on their back. We want them to eat good. We want them to live good. We want them to have fucking cell phones. We want them to have computers and shit. We want them to have game systems. We want them to have. And then we go harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to make sure that shit happens. And I know that's not every father, but it needs to be. It needs to be. I was terrified, man. I was terrified. I'm gonna tell you the story, all right? So my wife and I, we had been married for 4 years, and you know what I'm saying? I had been away at the military. I went away to the military, and we were separated, not saying separated as a married couple, but separated as in geographical area. We were separated. You know what I'm saying? I was in Georgia, then I was in Texas, and I was in South Korea. It's like, yo, you constantly bouncing back, you know what I'm saying? Constantly bouncing from here to there, you know what I'm saying? Carolinas and all this stuff. You're like, yo, constantly bouncing from here to there. And it's like, as a young couple, once I got out the military, we spent a lot of time together. Cause that's my best friend. That's like, that's my homie right there. You know what I'm saying? That's my smoke partner. That's the person I want to drink with. That's the person I want to kick it with. That's the person. She the one right there. You know what I'm saying? She the one right there. I don't do much, nigga. I work, I grind, and I spend time with my wife and my family and shit. And it's crazy. I spend more time with my wife than I do with my family. Me and my wife spend a lot of time together, man. We have a great time together. We always doing things, but we do business with each other as well. All right. But back then it wasn't like that. Back then we weren't doing business and stuff together. We were just in love. We were just passionately in love. So, she really wanted to have children. She really wanted that. Like ever since day one of us being together, she expressed how important it was for her to be a mother, a wife and a mother. She had to be a wife first and then a mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm down. So that's what we did. We made her a wife first. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, so she was really coming at me about this stuff. And I mean, I ain't gonna front. It was a lot of pressure. She put a lot of pressure on me about it. You know what I mean? She put a lot of pressure on me about it. But man, I thank God she did. Thank God she did, man. I mean, it took me for a while. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to accept it. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to not accept being a father, but accept that the pressure and that because I was old, because being a father, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't prepared. So shit was tight. Shit was tight for a long time. We experienced a lot of different things, but you know what I'm saying, gradually got better. Gradually got better. Got better and better and better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? Gradually got better. And I feel like us taking all of those steps and us really like starting from the bottom and experiencing all of that shit was a benefit, you know. But so one day I come home from work, and as soon as I walk through the door, she hands me something. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't know what the fuck it was. I ain't gonna front. I'm looking at it like it's a garage door. I'm like, what the fuck? We ain't got no garage. We live in an apartment. Like, what the fuck is this? And then I looked at that shit deep because it was a pregnancy test that she handed me. But it wasn't like the typical like stick shit. It was something shaped different and shit like that. I didn't know what the fuck it was. But she handed it to me. And then I looked at it and I realized what it was. And I realized it was positive. And when it came up positive, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Yo, my heart fell into my stomach. I had a hard time standing after that shit. My heart fell into my stomach. I had a hard time standing. It's like getting the information because it wasn't like we were actively trying to have children, but this is something that she really wanted. She truly wanted to have children. And so when she handed me the pregnancy test, it was like, man, I'm in it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in it now. And it fucked me up at first. I'm not gonna front. It fucked me up. It scared the shit out of me. Scariest thing I've ever experienced, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of shit that should have scared the shit out of me. But this was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? This was one of the scariest things that I've ever experienced. Let's put it like that. And so when she handed it to me again, my stomach fell into My heart fell into my stomach, and I don't know if I responded the best. Be honest with you. I really don't know if I responded the best. The way she makes it seem like it was just like, oh, I was nervous and I just let it go. But in my head, it was like I was being wrong, because I'm one of them guys that believe in standing tall and standing up to the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Stick your chest out and get it and knock it out. You know what I'm saying? Make it through. One of them guys. You know what I mean? I'm one of them guys to push through. I'm a push through guy. And this thing scared the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, how am I going to push through? And I was terrified, man, because I was a fucked up kid. Not saying I was a bad kid, but I'm just saying that in my head, all the shit that I experienced and all the things, I'm saying I felt neglected and abandoned. You know what I'm saying? I never really felt like anybody ever loved me and give a fuck shit like that. So it was like, man, being in a situation where I'm about to have to lead a kid. I'm just learning how to take care of the mama. You know what I'm saying? Because my wife has always pretty much been a housewife. She had like little times when she had jobs and stuff like that. But 85% of our marriage was her being a housewife. The majority of our two oldest children's lives, she was a housewife. So damn, I've always held things down. I always stood tall. And it was like that right there fucked me up. No lie, man. I had to go, and I'm not this guy. I'm not one of them guys who go through something and gotta go talk to my mom and shit like that. Like, that's not me. But I had to go and do it. You know what I'm saying? I was fucked up. I was scared, man. I was scared. And it wasn't like I came to her and, you know what I mean, was trying to figure out shit. It wasn't like that. It was just that I was just scared, man. I was scared I was going to fuck this up. I was so scared that I was going to fuck this up. I was scared that I was going to fuck up another kid and have another kid in this world that's fucked up like me. You know what I'm saying? I was terrified by that shit, man. I can't express enough how scared I was about this. But the thing about myself is I don't allow myself to hold on to shit for long term. Not at all. I don't allow myself to hold on to shit for long term. So what I did was I went off by myself and was by myself. I was in the car and I was just like, well, you love this woman. This woman loves you. And we're going to love this child. And no matter what, I promise two things. I will die before I let anything bad happen to you. And all the bad things that has happened to me will never happen to you. Promise you those things. Promised myself. It wasn't even like because I wasn't around my wife at the time. So I wasn't around when she, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't around. I went off by myself. So we weren't in the same vicinity. Vicinity. That's how you say it. We weren't in the same vicinity. And so, but I had to take some time to collect myself and get my shit right. I got myself. I had to collect some time to get my shit right, get my shit together, period. And then, you know what I'm saying, punch myself in the nuts a couple times, gut check myself, and I still fucking talk. Came home that night and went to every single doctor's appointment, was there every moment. I worked a lot. I remember during that time, I was working I believe I was working at Pizza Hut during that time. I was a manager of a Pizza Hut during that time. And my wife was pregnant and she used to come and she loved pizza. She loved stuffed crust pizza. You know what I'm saying? She loved stuffed crust pizza. She loved pizza. So it was a beautiful day for my wife. You know what I'm saying? She coming and I'm motherfucking making them fresh pies for her and shit. And the crazy shit was when my wife was pregnant, you know what I'm saying? She was pregnant. Her sister was pregnant as well. My sister was pregnant as well. And one of her friends were pregnant as well. And they used to all had a pregnant ass all together and shit, you know what I'm saying? So needless to say, I had to kick out a lot of food and bread, food and snacks, all that shit and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. And she had my son. She gave birth to my son. My son was the firstborn. She gave birth to my son. And my son, the moment I looked him in his eyes, and it was funny when he was first born, he had this like cone head. You know what I'm saying? He had this cone head. And I almost instantly started crowning his head, started forming that joint. Almost instantly started forming his head. You know what I'm saying? Just very softly and gentle. You know what I'm saying? Soft and gentle, but I started forming his head. It's like instantly I got into a parental gang, like instantly, you know, instantly. Scooped him up, held him, went over to my wife, which I'm gonna tell you, all right, so my wife's first labor. The first labor was crazy. Now, I understand that as a man, this could be a intimidating situation. You know what I mean? Especially for people who are in love with the baby mama and shit, or their wife or whatever. Because it's crazy because they go through a lot of fucking pain and they be hysterical, and there's not really much that you can do besides try to comfort them. You know what I'm saying? Try to comfort them. That's all you could really do is try to comfort them, you know? I mean, my wife was getting an epidural, and you know what I'm saying, the doctor, I mean, the nurse wasn't really that good. Well, the first one, or what our first child, the nurse was decent. But the second child, the nurse who was administering the epidural, that shit was nuts. But anyway, so for the first child, man, I mean, it's my firstborn, first time I'm able to experience this. And so I'm in the room, and it said, and no lie, I came front. It was the greatest show. It was like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Watching my firstborn be born was the greatest, one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. Like that was one of the greatest things. That I mean, the energy. I was in that joint, and the whole time I was cheering my baby on, cheering on, cheering on, cheering on. You know what I'm saying? And then she, you know what I mean? She gave birth. She gave birth. She passed it through. And I mean, I just started applauding her right in the fucking like just start applauding her like good show, that was amazing, good show. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny because my in-laws was in the room and all this stuff, and they looking at me like this nigga look crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? But that shit was nuts, man. At first, I was terrified. I was terrified to that point because I'm like, yeah, she gonna have a baby and all that. Oh, listen, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a protector. I'm a protector. So, you know, I be wanting to protect my baby from every fucking thing. I don't want her to have to go through shit. Like, period. I don't want to have to go through shit, nothing. She ain't got to go through nothing. I don't want to go through nothing. So it was one of them things like, man, yo, I was fucking like, ah. And it was so empowering, man. It's so amazing, man. And it was crazy. I went out and I got a food and shit like that, brought the food back to the hotel, back to the hotel, back to the hospital and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing, man. It was one of the most scary. The time was the scariest, some of the scariest things I ever went through during that time. And it was like, boom, the birth. Soon, I mean, the birth blew my mind. And then jump right into daddy mode. Right into daddy mode. Jump right into daddy mode. You know what I'm saying? Strapping car seats in, make sure my boy protected. We good to go. Yada yada yada. I'm taking care of the mama. We eating food. Boom. Got in the daddy mode ain't shook it since. And it's not. I ain't saying I got in the daddy mode like I knew everything off the bat. I did not. I had to read instructions. I had to learn shit. Me and my baby had to learn a lot of shit together. You know what I'm saying? We had to learn a lot of shit together and shit. But yo, I'm gonna tell you, man, when now having kids is a thrilling experience, but having kids with a willing partner who is invested, just as invested in you, and making sure these children turn out to be the best that we can possibly develop them to be is such a beautiful thing, man. It's such a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Such a beautiful thing. And what I can say is I've been married to my wife for 22 years. And yes, in that 22 years, we had some drag out, bare knuckle fights. Like we ain't never fight, we ain't never hit each other, no shit like that. But I mean, the arguments got intense. Arguments got intense, situations got intense. There's plenty of times that either one of us could have walked away. Either one of us could have walked away. It's plenty fucking times. But we chose each other. We gave each other grace. One thing that we, you know what I'm saying? We smoke weed together. We're a cannabis couple and shit. So when we going through shit, she my best friend. So when we going through shit, you know what I'm saying? We roll up, and a lot of times we do a lot of our counts, a lot of our shit in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Me and my baby be in the bathroom, like we pretty much, that's how close we are. You know what I'm saying? That's how close we are. We be in the bathroom together all the time and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, number two in there, goddamn thing, nigga. We together. You know what I mean? And so damn, I'll be in that bitch going to the bathroom and shit. She'll come in there, you know what I'm saying? We'll roll some weed up, we'll smoke, maybe, you know what I mean? I might have a bottle of liquor, a bottle of wine or something like that. We'll take some sips, put some music on, start the vibe out and fucking give each other grace in the situation. Sometimes we'll talk it out. Sometimes we let that shit the fuck go and move the fuck on. It's just how things are. You know what I'm saying? But when you handle business like that, man, you know what I'm saying? You get the opportunity to really like grow together. And how we grew together with having these children was just, you know what I'm saying, was fantastic. Was fantastic. You know, I didn't have a father, so I didn't really have any father resources. And I've been a very confident and sometimes cocky guy. You know what I mean? Where I don't want to ask for help and I don't want to reach out to people and stuff like that. So a lot of my being a father, a lot of my parenting really had to do with, you know, trying to correct the wrongs of the stuff that I went through. You know, but now I realize because my children they weren't raised the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? My children are suburban children. They from the suburbs. They live in, you know what I'm saying, the biggest house on their block. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my children. You know what I mean? They grew up, man. When it comes to their grandparents have nice houses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? My wife's parents, big, beautiful, gorgeous home, backyard like a paradise. You know what I'm saying? My mom has a beautiful home now. You know what I'm saying? And so damn, and so they got to grow up. They didn't grow up having to go to the hood to their grandmama house and shit. Hell, I'm saying they went to the hood to their auntie's house and shit, fuck with their cousins and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But damn, it wasn't like their parents, their grandparents, all that. You know what I'm saying? It was very far and in between type shit. My kids are suburban babies. They suburban babies. Both of their parents have been married their whole life. Their parents were married before they were born. Both of their parents have been together their whole life. You know what I'm saying? Both of their parents have college degrees. You know what I'm saying? Both of their parents own businesses. You know what I mean? So it's a completely different thing, a completely different upbringing. So I found myself saying tilted a little bit, had to tailor it a little bit because I know about being in the trenches. I bit my tongue while I was talking this shit. I know about being in the trenches and shit. So when you go about being in the trenches, you raise your kids based on trench life. When your kids growing up in the suburbs, man, that trench life shit be a waste of time. That's not their issue. It's not their issue. You know what I'm saying? They have way different issues. And I didn't know a lot, part of these ways. I didn't really know how to lead that. I didn't. So I had to get more in tune to making my children more self-reliant and self-resilient when it came to themselves. You know what I'm saying? I guess self-reliant, self-resilient when it came to self. I mean, say, come on, say any fucking way. Being more self-reliant, being more self-assured, helping them to create that self-confidence because it's very easy for us to get to that phase, especially in high school and middle school and stuff, where we question ourselves, we don't know, and then we don't believe in ourselves and things of that nature. And if you don't have people in your corner that's like rooting you on and showing you why you should believe in yourself and giving you examples and patting you on the back and celebrating you don't have that. You might lose that whole concept that you're supposed to celebrate yourself. You know what I'm saying? You might lose the whole concept. You're supposed to celebrate yourself. And you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss out on that. And I ain't want my children to miss out on that. So I had to start tailoring and start tilting and start moving away from making them tough and grinders and shit like that. And I went to more of a let me build their self-esteem and build their self-value because we're at a point where their parents are affluent. So since their parents are affluent, that's going to be their life, especially if we do right the way we're supposed to by them and by the currency that we're making. And we do right, so we're going to be in the game. You know what I'm saying? So damn, they're going to be in the game as well. So there's no reason for me to train you for the trenches. I need to prepare you for this world. Need to prepare you for a world of success and how to be able to manage and handle it and how to strategize and come together and network and bring people together and use your resources and find resources to be resourceful, be resourceful. That became the mission. That became the move. And it took a long time for me to learn that. I ain't gonna front. I mean, it's not like I went through a year or two and was like, all right. Hey, nah, nigga, this was my oldest was probably like 15 before I started to realize this. I'm raising him on this tough shit and being tough and being tough and being tough. And that's not who the fuck he is. You know what I'm saying? He's an artist. I'm not saying he's weak. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is he's not an overly aggressive guy. You know what I'm saying? He had a dad. You know what I mean? He had a dad. He got a mom that loves him and cooks and takes care of him and, you know what I'm saying, sings to him and kisses him and shit like that. I kiss him. You know what I'm saying? I still kiss him. My son 18. I still kiss my son. You know what I'm saying? So damn, it's like damn, those type of things, man. You know what I mean? We started to try to work on instilling different things in them, preparing them for the true world and shit. You know what I'm saying? I realized with education, again, I didn't make my shit from school. I got 3 fucking degrees. And I'm out this motherfucker grinding. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because I went to school. Now, going to school and being diligent and having to have use time management and execute on goals and get things accomplished and all that shit, it did prepare me better for being an entrepreneur. But the thing about school that's different than being an entrepreneur is in school, you get the information first and then they test you after you get the information. The thing about being an entrepreneur is a lot of times you're getting tested way before you get the information. And just because you got tested don't mean you're going to get the information. Period. It doesn't mean that shit. That's what being an entrepreneur is. But at the same time, being able to have a work ethic and knock things out and accomplish things and network and have conversations, stand in front of classes and speak in front of people and be able to communicate in a group and keep the control and all that stuff, those things are extremely important. Those are some extremely important skills that I learned in college, and I took those skills to owning a business. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about the information that I learned. It was more about how I learned how to learn. It was more about how I learned how to execute on objectives. It was more about that at the end of the day. So it really wasn't about the information. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess some of the information was useful. I mean, especially when I went to business school, learning about strategy and stuff like that, breaking things down, being smart, specific, breaking things down on a smart schedule. You know what I'm saying? Specific, measurable, attainable, researchable, and time oriented. You know what I'm saying? That's a way to break things down. You can break anything down with that smart category. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I concur. I'm starting to come off subject. You know what I mean? But being a father, it was one of those things, man. It was one of those things that we really had to learn from. You know what I'm saying? We really had to learn the entire way. And you got to believe in yourself. And you got to believe that as long as you love that child and you're making the best decisions possible and you're keeping that child safe and fed and clothed and protected and things of that nature, and that child is growing up to be well rounded, I mean, what else can you do? We all can do this. We all can do this. You know what I'm saying? We all can do this. We can work together. I would like to be a resource. I would like to be a resource for fathers, man. If you a father out here and or you're going to be a father and you got questions and things like that, you need to reach out. You need to be able to. You need a resource to be able to understand. Or you just need some encouragement through this thing. You need some ways to be able to learn how to deal with your baby mom and stuff like that. You need resources for jobs and things of that nature. That's what we all need to be bonding together for. Can you imagine if all the fathers would be constantly bonded together and made sure the younger fathers were protected and taken care of? Hey, we have resources for you for jobs. Hey, we got this information. Hey, let me tell you this. Hey, let me help you out with this. You know what I'm saying? It will be so much greater if we did that, man. If we did that as a community. And a lot of times I feel like we reach out to young mothers, but we really don't reach out to young fathers in the fashion that we need to. And I guess we really don't reach out to young mothers as well. There's a lot of young mothers out here who really are lost as well. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to be a resource for them as well. But this is definitely for the fathers. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely for the fathers. I don't care if you're a stepfather, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the stepfathers out there, man. If you're a stepfather, if you can be in a child's life and that child is not your blood child, but you love that child like it's your blood child, and you will lay your life on the line for that child like it's your blood child, and you go out here and you grind and you try to take care of their mother so their mother can, you know what I'm saying? So they try to take care of their mother so the mother can be coveted and the mother doesn't, and the child can have a good, well balanced life because the mother isn't angry and passionate and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? All these things are very important. If you can do that, you know what I'm saying? Hats off to you, man. Hats off to you, brother. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I could do that shit. I believe that, man, I've taken care of so many kids, man. I mean, and I ain't never fucked their mamas. You know what I'm saying? So motherfucking, you know what I mean? So damn, I can definitely be a stepdad. You know what I'm saying? Because I love children. I love children, man. I love children. I love the fact that the way the children learn, I understand, and I know that children need protection. They need people out here, and a lot of us aren't on it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like for myself, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted somebody who just acknowledge a young brother and not for the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me out here hurting people and selling drugs and doing yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to take advantage of me and no shit like that. When you get positive male role models in your life, man, it could be a game changer. It could be an absolute game changer, man. You know what I'm saying? Every single child in every single household needs a positive male role model in their lives. Period. Period. You want to lower the crime rate, have a positive male role model in the house. You know what I'm saying? You want to slow down the drug epidemic, have a positive male role model in the house. You know, it's crazy how that shit works, but it works. And I understand. I mean, I understand there's a lot of women out there probably looking at me like, hey, you talking like it's that easy, like it's that easy to find a positive male role model. And I truly understand your plight. I was one of them young men that I wanted a positive male role model. And I was allowing people to be my role models that did not deserve it because I just wanted to be a part of something. I just needed that. You know what I'm saying? I just needed that. And my father wasn't in my life growing up, so I always reached out and tried to find that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't truly understand the true impact of that until this past weekend. I actually, you know what I'm saying, spent a weekend, like I spent time with my pops. My pops usually he'll come in town. You know what I'm saying? My pops live in Texas. I live in Virginia. My pops will come in town. And he trying to check a lot of people. He got a hit. He want to spend time with us. He, you know what I'm saying, his mom when his mom was alive, and you know what I'm saying, his cousins and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, shit. He be wanting to check a lot of folks and shit. So damn, I ain't really get to spend like the time with him. But I mean, this was a weekend that I actually spent time with him. You know, he came, he kicked it with me. You know what I'm saying? Came up to my shop, man, kicked it with me. You know what I mean? We politic, man. It's like he really ain't leave my side, you know. And to be honest, I needed that shit. You know what I'm saying? I needed that shit. I'm telling you, I've been going through a lot of things because, you do business and you run families. And, you know what I mean? When you're successful, you deal with a lot of hate. You deal with a lot of fucking hate. And it be hate coming from people that you love. It be hate coming from just, you deal with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got to just keep your head on tight and just keep pushing all the way through this shit, you know? And so, I was one of them young men who was raised by women. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say I'm a sassy nigga, no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I can motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? I get aggressive sometime and shit. I get aggressive sometime. And I don't believe it's the testosterone aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it's testosterone aggressive. But when I was looking at my pops and I was kicking my pops, man, this motherfucker so damn cool. This motherfucker so damn cool, laid back and chill. You know what I'm saying? My mama's still in love with this nigga, yo. She still fuck with this nigga. Like, she still got love for this nigga on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? More love, you know what I'm saying, than she got for me, nigga. But I'm gonna tell you, she still got love for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? And damn, and she a tough cookie. My mom, my mom tough. You know what I'm saying? She a tough cookie. And so for him to be able to always woo that shit, just let me know, man. It's like, man, yo, teach me your ways, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I'm a charismatic individual. You know what I mean? I get my way, I do my thing, I make my moves, but it's so much information I could have learned, and there's so much that I need to learn from him. You know what I mean? It's like now, it's like, yo, I have to actively make sure that we are spending the time together so I can get the information, so I can get the education. You know what I'm saying? It's just a cool thing. It's a cool thing, man. Everybody fucked with the guy, man. It was nuts. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, everywhere we went, rock with him and shit. And it was like, man, yo, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. And it just let me know about the education that I can be having, getting. And, you know, and a long time I came front, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that was me. A lot of that was me because I was so angry and frustrated that he wasn't there and shit. I just made it seem like the motherfucker hated me or some shit. I made it seem like, you know what I'm saying? But I went through a lot growing up though. I went through a lot. And I mean, the more we link, the more we bond and shit, he get to learn, you know what I'm saying, why I was so angry and frustrated because of how much I had to experience and shit. You know what I'm saying? But now it's truthfully, man, it's truthfully the real shit of it's never too late. It's never too late, man. It's never too late to build a bond. It's never too late to mend the fence. It's never too late to reach out. It's never too late to be a father to your son. It's never too late, man. It's never too late. You could do this. You know, we as fathers have a profound responsibility of protecting the children of this world, the people of this world, the women of this world. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. And it's our responsibility to be there and hold it down like that. It's our responsibility to make sure that we are manifesting greatness in our families. It's our responsibility that even if we're not the solemn leader of the family, because if you have a cohesive unit, there is no one leader. There's going to be times where you have to lead. There's going to be times where your woman has to lead. That is just going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's just going to happen. My baby just came up here and shit. That's just going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be times of that. I've experienced that so many times. You know what I mean? And there were times where I needed my baby to lead. And she did. You know what I'm saying? Period. And so as a cohesive unit, we got to pay attention to that. But a lot of times it's like, if you have a strong woman in your life that has a strong vision and a strong movement, you can follow her and help her and support her in that. If you're the one who has the strong vision and strong movement, she can follow you and support you in that. If y'all both have strong movements and a vision, then you support each other any way you possibly can. But we're doing this for one reason, or two reasons, because we want to make sure that we maintain and protect each other and be there for each other. But we're doing this for the children. We're doing this for the children. We are going to make sure that we raise greater children. We're going to make sure that we spend time in being the greatest fathers that we can possibly be. I don't think that people have that conversation enough, and I don't think we press that enough. It's so important for you to be a great father. It's so important for you to be a great father. Stepfather, father, it's important for you to be a great father. Don't settle for good. Don't settle for all right. You better than that. You better than that. You can be fucking great. And you should be great. And I know you can be great because it's in you. It ain't on you, it's in you. Greatness is ours to take hold of. Yes, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of fight, it takes a lot of resilience, It takes a lot. But the thing about it is, there's nothing in this world that's more worth it. There's nothing in this world that's more worth it. Nothing in this world that's more worth you being a great father to your children. And again, if you need a resource, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to reach out to, I'm here for you. I have no problem with making an investment with you being the best father you can. Because if you're the best father you can be, then that means you're going to help me put my children in the best world that they can be in. The best world they can be in. The best world full of the greatest fathers raising the greatest people. And with that being said, man, that's my time for the night. Man, this is Father 101, Fatherhood 101, Daddy in this. We're going to keep having segments where we having conversations about empowering each other to be fathers and empowering each other to be great fathers. We're going to have conversations on what is a great father? What does it take to be a great father? How do you know you're a great father? How do you know you're being great as a father? These are all the things that we can build on with each other, man, because iron sharpens iron. I know you want the best for your family and your household and your community the same way I want the best for my family, my household, and my community. So let's go ahead and work on this shit together. I am Mso the Great. Thank you for taking part in this moment on the I'm So Great podcast, recording live from We Like Studios. I fuck with y'all. I'm going to make this investment in you. And I know you're going to make this investment in me and keep me to be the best that I can be and the greatest that I can be. And that's what makes me love you. All right, man. Salute. We out of here. Yeah.